So it is time we get cleaning. You can join me and wander through the conversations I have in my mind as I clean my home. Grab a coffee or a tea. You can leave this playing in the background or on screen. The choice is yours, and thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Let's get started. For much of my life until I was 29, I struggled a lot with why. Why do events happen to me? I know friends and family around me, they say I've got a lot going on for me, but why is it still not enough to make me happy? Back then, I saw every challenge as a situation, as if it was a logical problem. How can I solve this? What is the gap? What are the solutions? And finally, how can we get alignment? I saw it from a project management point of view. Much of my life, I really didn't grow up knowing what emotional stability was, which is the ability to cope with various degrees of emotions that life throws at you. I would either try to solve the problem in whatever solution I can, or I would burn everything up in flames. And this way of solving problems was not healthy. I couldn't regulate my thoughts, my emotions, and all I could do was just act. I didn't know how to pause and catch my thoughts. I was honestly just mindfully lost. I would run because scientifically it was a solution to release endorphins, to create happiness, so I ran half marathons. I would eat healthy, live this lifestyle that was acclaimed to be ideal, but I did it, but it didn't feel right. I then realized it wasn't what I was doing that needed improvement. It was how my mind was thinking and my heart was feeling. How can I teach my mind to think differently, to unlearn the patterns from the past 30 years, and to relearn it as a full adult again? I've been practicing how to catch my thoughts and understanding my emotions for over 4 years now. I went to therapy, I read books, I meditated, I listened to podcasts, I was learning and adding knowledge, and for a while, I've really mistaken that as awareness and introspection. I was still on problem-solving mode, but with just different resources. At first, I was doing these things because they were just, good for me. But each day at a time, something changed. I was able to sit and meditate for 15 to 20 minutes at a time. I didn't understand why that was important to stay present and catch my thoughts, and had honestly taken me 4 years now to understand why it actually mattered. Now, at 33 years of age, when a problem comes at me, I can catch my thought, and more so, catch my emotion. I'm able to pause and think to myself, hold on, I am feeling judgment. Why am I feeling this way? And all this matters because this is the first step in finding agency in my life, and most importantly, in my thoughts. For so much of my life, it's lived in autopilot. I lived, things happen, I react, and I carry on. I just saw it as life happening to me, and it's just luck. But throughout the past 4 years of gradual growth and practice of mindfulness, calmness, and awareness, I realized life will always have something thrown at you, both good and the bad. But I will always have the autonomy and agency to define the situation for myself through my mind. The stories I tell myself, the understanding of my own emotions, and finally grounding my decision in my values and boundaries has really left me in a much better emotional space than before. Every book I read, every podcast I listened to, every therapy session has really contributed to my ability to now holistically see myself as a whole. I learned what my values are, what my boundaries are, and why I feel a certain way. It's no longer about what I can do to solve, what I can say to fix, but how can I see and feel things differently, and then to communicate that. I want to say to whoever who has ever felt like, why does life happen to me? And why does everything trigger me? It doesn't have to be this way at all. As you grow through your decades, a new revelation will hit you every single time. And right now in this decade of my life, it's been a lot of introspection, and I've met so many people in my life who shared their philosophy of life with me. There are two I really want to share that stuck with me. One is about perception, and that is how you see the world is how the world will become, to you in your eyes at least. And the other is around values, where in your childhood years, you adopt the values and behaviors of your family. And in your 20s, you adopt the values and behaviors of society, culture, and work. And in your 30s, you start to define your own values and behaviors for yourself. Growing is inspiring, motivating, yet challenging and painful. But as we learn to gain introspection and peace in our lives, we begin to transform our life and thoughts with intention and be able to have agency beyond just the places you go, the jobs you land, or the home you'll buy, but to also be able to have agency in your own emotions so you can feel better even in darker days. Thank you so much for tuning in on these conversations in my mind while I clean, and I'll see you next week. Take care and stay well.